What's up guys, Red Dragon here, and today we're going to take a look at the Tier 2 Russian cruiser, the Bogatyr. Now I know what you're thinking, you get back from a whole summer of being away and the first ship you look at is a Tier 2 Russian cruiser. Yes it is, because I want to get it done and out of the way so I can start playing the Svetlana. Look at her, she is beautiful. Also, I'm not quite ready to do anything else. This is kind of easing myself back into it, as it were. So, played a lot of games in the Bogatyr. It's time to move on to the Svetlana, like I said, and we're going to take a look at what makes the Bogatyr pretty good, actually. Better than I expected after the... hell, what was the Tier 1? After the Novik at Tier 2. So, real quick, let's pull all this up. So the Bogatyr, to start off with, has 23,000 hit points and 6 to 70 millimeters of armor, depending on where you're looking. That puts it firmly in second place, right behind the St. Louis as far as number of hit points, and third place out of the 4 Tier 3 cruisers in thickness of armor, beating only the Tenryu, which has a maximum of 63. The artillery is pretty interesting. It has the most guns of any Tier 3 cruiser, 16 main battery guns with a range of 11.4 kilometers, and you can choose to have 16 130 millimeters or 16 152 millimeters. Now, the 130 millimeters do deal less damage and have a slower reload, but they have a higher muzzle velocity as opposed to the 152 millimeters, which will do more damage but travel through the air slower. So it's kind of a 6 to 1, half a dozen or the other. Do you want to do more damage and have more rapid fire, or do you want your shells to travel faster? For me, I've tried both. Again, they're fairly comparable, but the extra damage of the 152 millimeters is pretty helpful. They do tend to be more lobby, though, so if you want more direct line of fire, I would suggest the 130 millimeters. No secondary batteries on the Bogatyr, which is common of almost all of the Tier 3 cruisers with the exception of the St. Louis. The St. Louis has some 76mm secondaries, which are okay. Not a big deal, though. You're still going to do fairly well. Speed and maneuverability, she can travel at 24 knots, which is, with the exception of the Tenryu, which does 32.5, right about in the middle of the American and German cruisers, the St. Louis being able to do 22 and the Kolberg being able to do 27, so it's fairly standard right in the middle. Again, you're going to be outsped by the Japanese cruiser, but that is to be expected because it's the Japanese cruiser. Rudder shift time of 6.7 seconds is the second fastest behind the Tenryu, so it's fairly maneuverable, with a 450 meter turning radius, which is tied with the St. Louis as the smallest turning radius of these Tier 3 cruisers. So that's pretty good. You can dodge enemy torpedoes fairly easily, actually. You'll be detected at a range of 10.3 kilometers. Again, you're a Tier 2 cruiser that's this giant dreadnought looking thing. Yeah, that's to be expected. When I've played it, I found it's very good. You put a lot of gunfire downrange if you have this ship broadside. Let's see, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can get 10 guns pointed at a target at a time, which is not bad at all. Very, very effective for taking out enemies. Let's skip with all this menagerie and take a look at a battle in this Tier 3 cruiser. Alright guys, here we are in the Tier 3 Bogatyr and attempting not to run into a Phoenix. We're on the map New Dawn. This is when all of the, well, everyone and their mother really, was playing the German battleships, so we have a lot of Tier 3 Nassau class German battleships, and is that a... Yep, nope, a Myogi and a Wyoming. No Kaisers in this battle. So yeah, New Dawn, capturing the enemy objective, hopefully, is what we're going to be doing. Gotta Isakaze destroyer in range, but behind an island, not worth shooting at quite yet. Oh, wait, here he comes. Here he comes. Any second. 10 guns. High explosive loaded. And away they go. Well, that's a good start to the battle. Good start to the battle. We nuked a Japanese destroyer, and hopefully we're going to be able to take out another one here. We got an Iziaslav moving up, and a Nassau and a Wyoming. Now, against battleships, you got to be careful with this ship. You can be very, very easily citadeled. However, you can mitigate this by keeping your distance and just raining high explosive fire down on the ship. We got some hits on that Iziaslav. And the nice thing about having 10 guns is you can ripple fire like that, and as you see your shots falling, especially on a fast-moving destroyer, you can adjust your shots. And there we go, another destroyer taken out. You can adjust your shots as you're firing to catch up with that destroyer if you're shooting too far behind. Alright, we got the Wyoming. And Nassau, St. Louis, and Nassau at Dursky. The closest enemy that's going to be a problem for us is that Nassau. Target hits, no fires set by us yet. Who's shooting at us from the back? Is that another... That's another enemy cruiser. Hello, can I... Oh, yep, there's a Karlsruhe over there. Alright, we're going to shift our attention to this Karlsruhe. Get all our guns pointed. There they go. Come on, come on, come on. There it is. Yep, set a fire. We're on fire, not that big of a problem though. We are getting pretty dangerously low on health, but we've taken some massive hits from a battleship, so that's to be expected. There's a Wyoming. Let's put some high explosive fire into him as well. Look at how many gun barrels I can get firing at this guy. And the dispersion isn't too bad either. I forgot to look at the gun dispersion with you guys. Dispersion's pretty good, especially for as many guns as we have firing. Alright, he's turning off. Let's focus back on this Nassau for a second. Right there. 10 rounds down range. They look pretty good. Maybe hit it on the back deck. Couple hits. Good. I like this new system that shows you the, hello? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There it is. There we go. I like the system that pops up over here that shows you your hits, your penetrations, your ricochets, stuff like that. A couple hits on the Wyoming. We need to set fires. There we go. And in this battle, I'm using the 130mm guns that have the faster velocity, higher velocity. Not a whole lot of movement from the enemy team. We've lost fewer ships than they have, but we're more spread out. They seem to be in a tight knot right around their base, which is helpful to us because that keeps them fairly penned in. We don't have to go chasing them down the map. So we got a Wyoming. It's going to move around that island over there, and we got a Nassau coming to back him up. So between myself and this other battle, and these two battleships moving up, we should be able to do some damage. Line my shots up on the Wyoming, wait to make sure I'm completely clear of the island. Ooh, those look really good. Those look really good. $2,000 damage, took out some AA guns. Not bad, not bad. We're going to wait for this Nassau to pop around. He's a little bit easier of a target for us to take out. A little less armor. Shots down range. Those seem to be a little not led quite enough, but we start a fire. He puts it out, so let's start another one. With as much high explosive shells as you can put down range, and fairly quickly, might I add, you can start a lot of fires. That's where that's where a good chunk of your damage is going to come from every battle in this ship. So again, keep them at range, don't let them get too close. We're letting this Nassau get pretty close. This is about 7 kilometers is about the closest I would let anybody. 8 or 9 would be better. Again, just start fire after fire after fire on this guy. We're getting support from the battleships. They're doing the heavy damage, and I'm just keep withering him away with my fire. Teams are about even. We've got 3 battleships, myself, and a destroyer. They've got 4 battleships and a destroyer. Oof. That hurt a lot. We have to sink this guy. I'm going to start swinging the ship around. So now we're starting to get fire from another Nassau in the Wyoming. 2 hits. Come on, fire. There we go. My fire's finally sunk. So we've sunk 3 enemy ships now, I think. Yep, 3 enemy ships. Set 4 fires, damaged a module, and hit 107 rounds on target. When you're firing 10 barrels at a time, that tends to be not uncommon to break 100, as long as you have a good match. This match is good because it's a nice big map. You don't get focused down by a bunch of enemy ships at once. So we got 2 Nassaus and a destroyer left. I think that destroyer, if I remember correctly, is way up toward our cap. So we need to get in the cap right now before that destroyer does. We've got our destroyers heading to the cap. We've got one of our battleships is facing off with that Nassau. We're going to put some high explosive fire down range, see if we can help out a little bit before we get behind this island. No penetrating hits. Oh well. We'll steam for the cap. Oh, here comes another Nassau. Good fire on him. Shells look good. They dispersed a little bit more with the range. That's a better group. Start pointing our nose toward him. There we go. There we go. Start a fire. 7 non-penetrating hits. Alright, the Isokaze got the last shot on that Nassau. Can we get a shot on this Nassau? Nope. Our friendly Nassau got the kill. Cool, so we've done 44,000 damage with fires and our hits alone. 118 hits on target. 3 ships sunk. And then for this, I saw that the destroyer was last spotted over there. Yeah, it was last spotted over there, so we're going to just dump high explosive fire in there to keep him at bay. I think he's coming back, if I remember correctly. I don't know why he would do that, but we're spotted, which means he's inside that dotted line on our mini-map, which means if he were moving toward our base, he's much faster than I am. He probably would have left that circle area, so I think he is coming back. So I'm just going to keep laying... Oh, there he is. He snuck around. Let's put some fire. We've got a very good chance of sinking this guy. Started a fire, which he promptly puts out. So we'll just put him on fire again. And one more time. Good hits, good hits. Battleships are getting involved. Let's see, can I get the kill? Nope. Fate says that I did not get the kill on that one. So that was the Bogatyr at Tier 3. A good little ship with a lot of firepower to put down range. Again, 10 rounds on target with each broadside, and the front and rear turrets have the 2 barrels, so you can get that extra little bit of firepower when you're steaming straight at or straight away from an enemy. So let's take a look at the post-battle results here. Yeah, not bad at all. Over 50,000 damage done, 132 hits on target, 3 modules incapacitated, 3 ships sunk, 8, count 'em, 8 fires started. Received 130,000, a little over 130,000 credits, almost 2,000 base experience, and I got the First Blood and Devastating Strike awards. What else? Team score, second from the top of the team. Our Isokaze, our destroyer, got the top. He deserved it. He did work. As far as damage done, we did 10,000 damage to a Nassau. We completely obliterated an Isokaze and an Isyaslav, and then did a whole bunch of damage to a bunch of destroyers and battleships as well. So this thing can definitely go toe-to-toe. How much high explosive damage did you do? Yep, 38,000 high explosive damage. Where's my fire damage? Just 12,000 damage alone with fires. That's impressive. So, credits and XP. Yep, you can look at all that. I really don't care. I got experience and credits. Hooray for me. Smiles. I have a premium account. Go me. So, that was the Bogatyr. Hope you enjoyed. Nothing too fancy for this ship. Had to play it a lot to get back to, refamiliarize myself with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you determine how best to approach this little cruiser. It's not bad. I had some fears like, okay, it's a low-tier Russian cruiser, whatever. It's actually pretty good for having the barbette turrets and all that. So, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video I post and down in the comments below. And in the comments below of this video, again, suggestions for the channel, ideas, comments, concerns, any amazing things you've done in the Bogatyr or the low-tier destroyers, cruisers, I mean, let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, people.